Hi everyone, it's Nicole here from Sydney English Teacher and from the Successful English Learner by Sydney English Teacher. And I'd like to say a big thank you for joining me for session number 4 of my weekly writing tasks. What a pleasure it is coming to you every week with a new writing task. I've received lots of lovely feedback so far, and I'm so glad that you've been motivated to write. Whether you have started writing or you are continuing to write, I am just so happy to know that these short writing task videos, or maybe not so short, are making a real difference. So thank you so much for joining me and for making an effort to practice and, of course, to improve this important English skill. So today, I'm coming to you with another fun writing topic. But before we do that, I'm giving you a quick reminder about the previous writing tasks, the previous videos. There are 3 of them so far. Have you watched them yet? Have you done the first 3 writing tasks or thought about doing them? Don't go back now. Stay here and watch this video, but do take the time to go back and to watch the videos and do the writing tasks when you can. It's definitely worth investing the time in this. And of course, the more writing you can do, the better. I'm sure you agree with me. So, let me now give you a quick reminder of what last week's writing task was all about before I give you some general feedback about the writing that I've seen so far. Are you ready? Okay. So, last week in writing task 3, I asked you to focus on the topic of family. I asked you to choose a particular family member and to write about them. Do you remember? Who did you choose? Or for those of you who haven't started writing task 3 yet, who will you choose? Which member of your family? To make the writing process a little easier last week, I gave you some questions to answer to really help you plan a little before you put your pen to paper. So here they are. Who have you chosen to write about? What are they like in terms of their personality? And what are they like in terms of their looks, their appearance? How do you feel when you spend time with them? What's your favorite memory of an experience together? Do you consider this family member a friend? And when was the last time that you actually saw each other? So these questions are to get you thinking so that you can brainstorm your ideas and write some notes before you begin the actual writing task. Did you find these questions helpful? I asked you to aim to write about a page. But of course, writing more or even writing less is okay too. The most important thing is that you write, and of course, that you enjoy writing. So, there you have a quick recap of writing task 3 from last week. Before we move on to writing task 4, I'd like to give you a little bit of feedback in general about some of the writing that I've seen. And I really, really hope that this helps you with this week's writing task and also with any writing that you do in the future. Are you ready? Okay, so the first piece of feedback is when you're writing about someone, when you're writing about a person, try to use as many adjectives as possible because the person who is reading your writing, this person doesn't necessarily know the person you are writing about. So it's your job to paint a picture for them, to make it clear, to be as descriptive as possible. How do you do this? Well, with adjectives, of course. You can choose adjectives to describe a person's appearance, such as beautiful, handsome, tall, skinny, fashionable, fit, whatever. Or you can choose adjectives to describe their personality, such as cheerful, bubbly, outgoing, shy, maybe gentle, caring, or even funny. So, which adjectives would you choose to describe yourself? And which adjectives would you choose to describe a family member? Have a think about it. And if you want, you could even go back to last week's writing task for session 3 and add some adjectives to your writing. How does that sound? Okay, so another piece of feedback from last week's writing task. And this is about your choice of tenses. In general, when you're writing about someone or you're describing someone, you're going to use the present simple tense. Okay? Let me say that again. You're going to use the present simple tense. Why? Because you are stating facts. That's right. Whenever you say that something is true, it's in the present simple tense. Easy, isn't it? So, with last week's writing task, there was no need to overcomplicate it or to use super difficult tenses. You could write the entire thing in the present simple tense if you wanted to, and it would be perfectly fine. Absolutely fine. Is that what you did? For example, you might write something like, my brother looks exactly like our mother. He is tall and thin, and he has wavy brown hair. Can you see there how it's all in the present simple tense? Because you are stating facts. You're stating something that is real. How easy is that? Another piece of feedback, which I think you'll really find helpful, is about the emotion verbs. What do I mean by that? Well, this is a special category of verbs, and it includes the verbs like, love, enjoy, dislike, detest, hate. And after each of these verbs, you're always going to use the verb ing form. In other words, if you decide to use the verb enjoy and you decide to follow it with a verb, it will always be the verb ing. Let me give you an example. I enjoy listening to music. There it's the verb ing, listening, enjoy listening. Instead of saying, I enjoy to listen to music. Or we might say, I love going to the cinema. Here, going is the ing form. Love going to the cinema. Or even, I dislike ironing my clothes. In that situation, dislike plus verb ing, ironing. Of course, you can also choose to use a noun after these verbs. So you might say, I enjoy books, or I love ice cream, or I dislike sport. But if you use a verb after any of these emotion verbs, it will always be in the ing form. Easy. Something really great for you to remember there. Do you want another piece of feedback? Well, this one is a bit more about the grammar and the structure of your writing. And it sounds easy, but you'd be surprised by how many people actually forget to do this. So, let me tell you. When you are giving an example, you need to make it clear that you're actually giving an example by using an example word, by using a linking word which introduces an example. You don't want to go straight into an example without telling the reader or preparing the reader first. So use an example word to show the reader what is coming, and then give your example. Don't surprise them. You could use, for example, for instance, such as, maybe like, particularly, in particular, or even especially. These are all example words. Think of them as linking words for examples. So these are all examples of example words, which really act as attention getters for what is coming next. Just like a signpost on the road when you're driving, I suppose, which says stop or give way. It's really getting your attention and giving you an idea, an indication of what is to come. And that's what you're doing here with example words. It's such a powerful tool, it really is. So don't forget to use it, okay? Promise me. Okay. So just a little feedback this week, but I really hope you found it helpful and that you'll remember these tips when you're doing the next writing task. So now it's time to move on to this week's writing task. Are you ready? Are you ready to join me? Okay. So let's now talk about what I'd like you to do for writing task 4. Are you ready? Okay. So this week for writing task 4, again, we are going to stick to something familiar, something you've experienced, really to make the writing process a little easier or a lot easier so that you can focus on how you write. You can focus on the words and the grammar that you choose instead of what you write, instead of just the content. So I'm here to give you as many ideas as possible so that you can plan what you're going to write in advance. and you don't run out of ideas. You don't end up staring at a blank piece of paper. We don't want that. So, what is the topic for this week? What I'd like you to do for writing task 4 is to focus on a place. It can be anywhere in the world. It can be a city or even a country. It can be a popular tourist attraction or a hidden gem. It could be a building or a park, maybe a beach or even a mountain. You decide. The most important thing is that you think of a place that is special to you. Okay? A place that makes you happy. A place where you feel safe. A place that is special to you. I want you to close your eyes and I want you to picture this place. What does it look like? How does it make you feel? Where exactly is this place? How would you describe it to someone else who's never been there? Have you been there many times? How often? Or maybe this place is something you dream of. It's a place you dream of visiting. Perhaps you want to go there one day. I'd like you to think about these questions and really take some notes, write down some words, some ideas, anything you can to help you when you start writing about this special place. So write down a few ideas, a few words, answer these questions, and that will help you with your writing. Now to the important part. How long should it be? That's a really good question. Let's aim for about 1 page. But I'm sure that when you start writing about this special place, you'll actually realize that 1 page just isn't enough. So don't let a word limit stop you, okay? Just keep writing. And if it ends up being 1.5 or 2 or even 3 pages, that's okay too. That's absolutely fine. Actually, that's better than fine. That is great. That is fantastic. Now, for something fun. For those of you who would like an extra challenge, I'd like you to write about this special place as though you are selling it, as though you are convincing other people that it's the place to go. It's the place to see. Maybe pretend you're a tour guide and convince your travelers that this special place just has to be included on their travel itinerary. How can you do that? By using description, by using emotive language, maybe by pretending that you're writing a travel brochure. Why not? It's something fun to do and it will improve your English at the same time. How good is that? Do you want another challenge? Well, if so, to make it even more fun, you can try to add these words to your writing task. try to use these 3 words somewhere in your writing. Come on, you can do it. It's not so hard. Give it a go. The first word is a verb. Try to use the verb investigate. Investigate. The next one is an adjective. Try to use the adjective mandatory. Mandatory. And the last one is a noun. Try to use the noun destination. So investigate, mandatory, and destination. Try and use them in your writing task. And if you're not sure of the meaning, please ask. I'm here to help. So that's all for this week. Make sure you take the next step after watching this video, okay? Actually sit down and write something. You know, that's the whole purpose of these weekly writing sessions. You know, it's about getting you to put pen to paper, to actually write something down, to practice and to improve. That's what we want. If you have any questions at all, or if you get stuck along the way while you're writing, you're more than welcome to get in touch because I'm always here to help and to support all of you. I hope you know that. So, I really, really hope that you enjoyed session 4 and that you found my feedback as well as my tips helpful, really helpful. I say a big thank you for joining me. And please remember to come back again next week. Join me next week for session 5 because session 5 is a great one, I promise. So have a great week, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. And above all, happy writing. Bye.